So welcome children once again in this video where we are studying today chapter number 5, that is conditional constructs in Java. Now children, we have studied about the simple programming where we did not had any conditions in the program, but you all know that life is full of conditions. Now children, in the program also we'll be facing some conditions, and according to the conditions we are going to execute our program, we have to write our program. So for putting conditions or for putting some problems where some task is given according to some conditions, we have to write those programs with the help of conditional statements. So children, we have some conditional statements to study, and these conditional statements which we are going to study today, the first statement children is the if statement. So we have the first conditional statement as the if statement. We'll learn what this if statement means. It is written in small letter. We'll learn what this if statement means, how it is written, that is the syntax of this statement, and how it can be used in the program. Then the second children we are going to write is if and else. So the second conditional construct is if else. We'll see what this. The third is children if else if. It is also called a if else if statement, or if it is also called a if else if ladder. So we have these three if statements used in three different ways, and there are different syntax of writing these conditional statements in the program. And children, conditions are like that. If I give you a program to write a program to enter student's name and his marks, and it asks you to print whether the student is pass or fail according to the marks entered. Say if his marks are more than 40 or equal to more than 40, is pass, otherwise fail. So this sort of a condition is there. We are going to check the marks, and if the marks are greater than 40 or equal to 40, then we have to print one message, that is pass. And if it is less than 40, we have to print that the student is failed. So children, with these statements we are going to put conditions. Now children, these three statements, if else, if, they all are decision making statements, and they can also be used in another way which we called as in nested if form. So today we are going to discuss with if else, if, ladder or if else if statement, and nested if. Nested if we'll just discuss that it is if there is another condition within a condition, then it is called as a nested condition, and that we do with the help of nested if. So the children, the first statement we are going to discuss is the if statement. So the if statement, and children, three things are asked when these statements are asked directly in the question. It is asked like that: explain this statement, explain if statement, write its syntax, and give an example. So children, I am going to explain these statements with the help of these three things only. If statement, if you want to explain or if you want to understand the statement, it means that if statement is a decision making statement. It is a conditional statement. So we use two words, decision or condition. And children, we say that if statement is a decision making statement in a program, and it is used to take decisions in the program, and it is also called a conditional statement. Now children, when these statements get executed, we use a logical or a Boolean expression, and according to the expression, the value returned is either true or false. So children, in conditions, when we are going to check the conditions, we get either true or false, whether the condition is true or false. So what I have explained over here is that if is a decision making or conditional statement, and it is used to make decisions in the program. Now children, I come to its syntax. Now before I move on to syntax, I must tell you what a syntax is. Children, every statement which we are going to study in Java or any programming language, we write its syntax. Syntax means the way of writing this program, of this statement, how this statement is going to be written in the program. So for the syntax, children, we say that we use the if statement, then we write the condition. That this can be a single condition or multiple condition joins with logical operator. And children, as you all know that condition returns you either true or false. So after that I write a Java statement, and it can also be, children, Java set of statements. So the simple way of writing the statement is that I'll write if statement, then I have to put a round brackets or a parenthesis. Within the parenthesis I am going to put my condition, and the computer is going to evaluate my expression, that is logical expression, and if that expression comes out to be true, then children, what will happen? The statement which is following this if, I have not ended this statement ends over here. So if this condition is true, then this statement, or if it is set of statement, they get executed. And children, if this condition is false, it is not going to execute these statements or this statement. So it is going to come out leaving this statement. So children, if I use it with an example, if I say I say x is greater than 100. If x is greater than 100, then I print system dot out dot println selected. So children, what will happen if my value of x, whatever I have entered before the this execution of a statement, is greater than 100, then this statement selected will get printed, and if my value is equal to or less than 100, then this statement will be left out, it will not get executed. This is a single statement, and children, it can also be a group of statement. Like for example, if I say if x is less than 100, say I write y is equal to 10, z is equal to 20, and another statement I write system dot out dot println, I write rejected. So children, what I have done, I have made a block of statement. Now what will happen if this condition is true, then all these statements will get executed. Now children, when I write a statement in a block, as I have written over here, it is called as a compound statement. A question in the board exam has come, what is a compound statement? So children, I am telling you that if I write the group of statements enclosed within a pair of braces, then it is also called as a compound statement, and it is treated as one statement, and it is also called a block. So compound statements are the group of statements enclosed in a pair of braces and executed as one statement. So children, here if this condition is true, all these three statements get executed, and if this condition is false, all these three statements will not get executed. Here children, if this condition is true, only one statement gets executed. So children, I hope you have followed this. Explanation is that if statement is a conditional statement or a decision making statement, and it is used to check conditions in the program. I'm going to explain it more after explaining you the syntax. Now I say that when the condition in the if statement, is true, the statements following the if gets executed, and when the condition in the if statement is false, the statements following the if will not get executed. I hope children, now you have followed this statement. I'll be using it in a program. Say children, now I write a program for this if statement only, and we are going to understand it with an example. The question now I am going to give you is, write a program to enter three integer numbers. Write a program to enter three integer numbers and print the largest number among them. So what is the program? We have to enter three integer numbers and we have to print the largest number among them. And children, I am going to do this program with simple if statement. It can be done with other ways also, but I am going to show you the execution of this if statement through this program. So children, it is asking us to find the largest number. So class largest, this is the class I have taken. It is asking me to enter three integer numbers. So public void main. I have entered three numbers, int a, int b, int c. These are the three numbers which I have entered. This is my input. Now children, what I have taken, I am taking a variable L, that is for largest, and I am taking the first number, storing the first number in L, that is at present I am assuming that out of these three numbers A is the largest number that I have assumed. Now children, I am going to check whether B or C is greater than these numbers also. So now the next condition which I am going to check is if B is greater than L, so I say L is equal to B. So I have used single if statement. I have not used the other form of if, I have used single. If B is greater than L, then L is B. Again I am going to use, this statement is over. Now I can use any number of if statements or if else statement in a program. Now I use another program, another if statement. If C is greater than L, so I say L is equal to C. So simply I have used two if statement in one after the other, and now children I print that the largest number out of these three numbers is stored in L. So I print largest number is L. Now children, how can we check the execution of this program without running it on computer? We call it as a dry run. So what we do children, we make a column, say A, B and C, these are the three numbers which are there, A, B and C, and I have taken one variable L. Now the user has to enter any three numbers, so I assume that in A I enter 5, then 10 and 7. So I have to find out the largest number among these numbers. So this is my input, this is, I have taken my own values to check this program. Now L is equal to A, that means L is storing the value of A. This is okay. Now I check whether B is greater than L. So is B greater than L? Yes or no? Yes, it is greater than L. So this condition becomes true. So this statement gets executed. So in L, now we'll have the value of B. This value will get erased and now L will store a new value, that is 10. So this statement gets executed. Now we come to this statement, is C greater than L? Now we check that is 7 greater than 10? No, it is not greater. So this statement is false now. This condition is false. So now the value, this statement will not get executed. So we can see children, the largest number is stored in L and we print out this L. So children, by simple use of if statement, we have found out the largest number among these three numbers. We can do it with other if else also, but I have shown you the example of if through this program. I hope you have followed it. Now children, we move on to the next conditional statement, that is if else. That is if else. This is the second statement of conditional construct, and children, in this particular we have done this. Now we move on to the next one, that is if else. Now children, if else, if we talk about the statement, we again say the same thing, that if else is a decision making statement. It is used to check conditions in the program. It is almost the same thing, but when we are going to explain it further, then there will be a difference. Now children, the syntax of this program is, syntax is children, if we put a condition the same way we did in if, and here we write statement, or it can also be statements 1 semicolon, and then comes the else statement and we write statement, or it can be set of statements, I told you 2. So now children, what happens, this statement checks this condition, and this condition may either be true or false. If this condition is true, then these statements, which is 1, so set of statements 1 will get executed and 2 will not get executed. And if the condition is false, the control moves on to the else statement and executes all the statements following the else. It will leave out the statements present here with the if statement. So either statement 1 or statement 2 will get executed. If condition is false, this statement gets executed. If condition is if condition is true, this statement gets executed. If condition is false, then else gets executed. So else is for the false condition. Now children, if I see an example over here, say I now write if my marks are greater than equal to 40, say I say system dot out dot println, I say pass. So I print a message pass, and here I write with else system dot out dot println fail. So children, I have written two output statements, pass and fail, with the if else statement. So what will happen? If my marks are equal to and greater than 40, if it is 41, 40, 45, 50, then this statement gets printed. And if my marks are less than 40, then it is going to print the else statement. So children, now if I want to explain this statement again, I say that if else is a decision making or conditional statement. It is used to check conditions in the program. And now after following all this, we say when the condition in the if statement is true, then the statement following the if gets executed. And if the condition is false, then the statements following the else gets executed. And it is to be noted that either statement 1 or statement 2 gets executed and not both. I hope children you have followed this if else also. This is very simple. And children, if else, if, these are the conditional statements which we are going to use in almost all the programs where we are going to when we are going to do programming later in the sessions. Now children, one more thing, we are going to do one program on this also. So we say the program is write a program to enter two integer numbers. Write a program to enter two integer numbers and print the largest number among them. So we are going to do it with the if else statement. So print the largest number among two numbers. So the class again I am writing is largest. So I am going to show you the use of if else through this public void main. Two numbers are to be entered. I am taking it as into A and in B. Now children, simply I can write if A is greater than B. So I will print system.out.println largest number is A, and with else I write system.out.println largest number is B. So children, here we can say that if A is greater than B, then A will get printed. And if A is less than B or equal to B, then B gets executed or printed. So out of these two numbers, any largest number will be printed, and if both the numbers are same, then also B will get printed. So children, this is a simple example of if else. So we have studied if, we have studied if else. I hope you know the difference. And we say in this program that the if in this statement, if the condition in the if statement is true, the statement following the if gets executed, and if the condition is false, then the statement following the else gets executed. Now children, I hope you have followed this. Now we are going to stop this session, and we'll be studying if else and nested if in the second session. Thank you very much. I hope you have followed this.